Okay, looking good. Yeah, let's see if we can get a game here. Okay, start out with black. I got the old queen's pawn opening. Is he going to play? Oh, he's going to play traditional. Okay. Got a Nimzo Indian. The finger slip variation. I think you can undermine the center here since he didn't defend it. Okay, so playing the pawn up like in the Rubinstein variation. I could take. Yes, take back with a pawn, and then the bishop is free to retreat. Now, if I bring the knight out and he pushes, I can take. He takes. I could take the bishop, but that's still defended. I generally still have to move, so let's just castle. I'm not sure about d6 and knight c6. I'm kind of trying to decide between those options. So he plays f4. That's exciting. Yeah, I still have both my bishops. How about I play b6 then? Take advantage of that open diagonal there. Because, well, he might have made life uncomfortable for me. But oh, he can't quickly get to this. We could put the queen there and attacked my rook, but I could have blocked with the knight. I should have thought about that before I moved. Okay, so he's going there. Now, if I go here with the knight and he pushes, I could take once and then move the knight to this square, I guess. So he castles. So how about d5 in this case? d5, he takes, I take with the pawn. This is still defended. And I can maybe put yeah, I can maybe put a knight there potentially in the long run. The Nimzo Indian is a very flexible opening, so you can go forward. My plan is often to play d6 and e5, but you can also play d5 and c5 like I did here. So the idea is I can just take this knight and then put a knight here. Maybe I would put a rook here first. Okay, he's looking at that. Looking at that file, but there's nothing on it really. Yeah, so let's take that. See if he wants to take back with a piece or a pawn. Yeah, when he takes the pawn, he blocks his bishop, but he can push that forward at some point. Anyway, and then my idea is to put the knight up here. So I'm attacking this pawn. Let's continue that attack by putting a rook here. Then knight over to A5. And welcome to the stream, everybody. Or I could take here. So I take, he takes, then I take here, right? No, I don't take because his bishop is covering it. See, I could go here, but his bishop is covering that. Let's just force that knight to move. suppose he could take my knight first as an intermediate move before moving his knight. He does none of that. Ah. Okay, let's just unpin. Trying to be tricksy, huh? I go here. He could sacrifice his knight there. Does not look like a sound sacrifice, right? He takes, I take. No, he can't really sacrifice his knight there. Well, I'm a bit rusty. Haven't played in a couple weeks, so hopefully I can start playing a little more often. But don't be surprised if I make some blunders. As usual. My usual share of blunders. But I think he's got to move the knight now, so. Also, he left this undefended here. Under defended, but my queen is kind of pinned, so I mean the pawn is pinned against my queen. So take with the queen, bishop, and let's take with the queen. So knight here hits the queen. And if he puts the queen here to try and pin, my queen is defended, so I can actually step aside. Okay, so now I can't do that trick. Cannot do it. Okay, he's pinned this pawn. So this is vulnerable. So it's defended at the moment, but he could trade it off. So let's just step aside. Unpin. And my next move is to put the queen somewhere. Where is it going, though? It can't go here where I want to go because his queen's in the way. Well, now I can go there. Okay. So he takes, I take. It's okay. Yeah, so let's just threaten to take this pawn. Oh, I can't take that pawn because of the mate threat. That's what he's doing. So I can push this pawn though to block things up. Maybe here first, here and then here. Yeah, so we start with this one. Because the queen has to move. Oh, the bishop could take there with check, but then I would take it. If he tries to take my knight, then I take his queen. Yeah, I forgot about this being a check. But fortunately, it's also defended by the knight. Yeah, I want to bring the queen over. Help defend things. This pawn is perpetually weak, yeah. This is defended. So it doesn't matter if he takes this knight now. It doesn't matter if I take the pawn. So he goes that way. Is there a check here that I can use? There's this attack on the rook. I suppose that's good. So I can take that. I see. Yeah, let's take that. Just remember to move the king over next, so he can't come down and give a check here. Fork the king and the rook. The king and the bishop, rather. So he could take this pawn. So I don't win the pawn after all. It's a nice try. A clever defense. Yeah, he just takes. And now he's got an isolated but passed pawn, so got to be careful. I'm hitting this pawn. He ran out of time. Huh. So it's materially even. Let's go to the analysis board for just a second. I'm curious to see what they think computer-wise. What does the computer think? Oh, well, let's just turn it on, evaluate this last position. Yeah, it's minus 0.1, so it looks like, or minus 1. So it looks like I am a pawn up. You know, there is this weakness. It looks like I missed an opportunity, or he missed an opportunity here. I blundered. So when I played here to kick his knight, he should have... First of all, I should have moved my knight and not worried about his knight so much. But after I did that, then he should have played bishop takes e4. Yeah, bishop takes e4 he thinks is good. I was wondering about that. I thought I could just take here. What's the problem with this? Queen check. Oh yeah, that's a dangerous queen check. Because the knight can come in here. So if I step aside this way, it's a check. If I step aside this way, it's a mate. So yeah, that's bad. Actually, it says mate in 5 anyway. So I can't take, I was planning to take. So I have to take here. And then he wins at least a pawn, but it looks like this is good for white. Okay, so my mistake, you know, f6 is always a weakening move. You do have to be careful. Yeah, so that trade and bringing the queen out is the way to take advantage of that. So that was the one blunder I made here. The one big blunder. Otherwise, it seems pretty cool. Let's see if we can get another game. Okay, I'll start off with the e4. Got a Sicilian, classical, or Najdorf. Yeah, Najdorf. Okay, Najdorf Sicilian. I like to play this move first so I can develop my bishop without it being harassed. That's just me. Okay, so now I can do the usual queenside castling here. It's interesting that he voluntarily moved that pawn. I guess he's thinking that he's stopping g4. I think I'm going to park my bishop on g5 here. But I just want to be careful about backfires along this diagonal. Okay, if I go here and he takes and I take the bishop, that's a problem. So let's defend the bishop. The thing that is, the reason this is not usually played is it weakens the king side here. So now that the bishop is defended, this is safe. He takes, I can take. He can take my bishop, but I can take back. So he just goes there. That's interesting. So I need to defend here. Let's do that. And now there's a half open H file that I can attack along. Ah, he got a pawn. Okay. I could take a pawn too. Let's do that. It hits the rook. So he won't have time to grab this pawn. And it hits this pawn too. This is looking interesting. Wow, he just did that. My rooks are defended. That was a funny move. He probably saw that his rook and his queen were concentrated on this pawn, so I had to respond. But of course, my queen came over here and attacked his rook. So he just didn't see that. Let's get somebody new. So yeah, he unfortunately was rewarded for his boring play that time. I guess that's why they do it. Nimzo Indian again. And the bishop move again. Interesting. Is this a fad? Is this a fad? Let's go ahead and play d5 right away this time. Let's see. If I just retreat, and he takes, and I take, and he takes, and I take, it's all okay, right? Think so. So I'm planning to play b6 and bishop b7 again. Then we can have knight to c6. The knight defends the bishop too, in case he's thinking of sacrificing there or something. Let's kick that once, see where it goes. You want to take. Okay, now I've got two pieces on this pawn. Ah, and he had two pieces on that pawn. I see. So I can go here. If he takes the bishop a check, I take back, and the queen is defending the knight. So yeah, bishops of the same color and symmetric pawn structure again. People sure are funny. Might as well threaten mate. I was just going to go back here, but might as well threaten mate. So he defends, but he left this one open. Coffee Addict and Mate Dude, thanks for the follows. And homie Jason followed me an hour ago. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, this is kind of bad, you know. It's hard to keep the queen out of this square, and this pawn can't move. I don't think there's a... Ah, there is a way out. He can sacrifice. Okay. Oh, and then he resigned. So what was the refutation to this one? Oh, mate. This one, I just made him. Yeah, I had plenty of time to find that. So yeah, he had to trade the queens probably, or take the bishop. I was expecting him to take the bishop. Computer says queen takes f3 and rook takes e4 are the two choices, yeah. And I'm still -7 or -8. So I'm winning no matter what. Like if he played the rook takes, I'd take back and I'm just a rook up. And if he played the queen takes, I'm only a piece up. But it's still pretty good for me. Okay. What did the computer say before he played g3? It was probably even before he played g3. Yeah. 0.1. 0.0. Yeah, all even. But he has to defend this way. And when he played this move, that's actually just losing. Just immediately losing because of what I just played. Here we go. Let's get somebody new. Okay, I got black this time. That's good. But they keep playing d4. That's annoying me. Because, you know, they're going after the Kali system or something. So I don't get to play my favorite Slav. The Kali system or the London system are one of those. That's just a London system with a bad bishop still on c1. Well, the advantage of the, or the idea, is that the e-pawn will eventually come forward. And then this bishop will spring to life in the Kala system. It's not a bad opening, but it's a little slow in the center. It takes a while to set up the attack. But he just gave his light squared bishop away, and that's kind of anti-positional, right? You give away the light squared bishop and put all your pawns on dark squares so you block in your only remaining bishop. That's not what they teach you in your positional chess class. So what do I want to do? I want to put a knight here. But he'll probably find a way to just trade it off or something. Could put the knight here and see which pawn he's going to push forward. This is a probing move, as they say in Go. I'm just curious. What's he going to do? Is he going to let it sit there? You know, if he pushes a c-pawn forward, I can go to this square. Attack his queen. Come in here, maybe. Depending on what he plays. But if he goes with the e-pawn, I probably have nothing better than just going back. I don't know. I have the f square. No, I don't. I do not have f4 because his knight is covering it. Anyway, if I get away with this, if he lets the knight sit here, I'll play f5 myself, so I have a way to counter any pushes in the center. Well, I'll give Sandreros credit here. He is thinking about his move. Just notice this knight is kind of loose here. He needs to find a way to quickly open up that c-file. You do it that way. Let's see. So if I play... okay. We'll defend here this way. If I played f5 immediately, it left this f5 immediately. It left this pawn hanging, which would have been unfortunate. It would go with check and everything. Okay, so but now, what can I do? I still can't play this because he's got two pieces on that. Okay, now I can play f4, although I don't know if it's any good anymore. f5, but I can play it. It can be played. Try and bring the other knight around. I can follow up with g5, kicking the queen. Oh, he just wants to open it up. That's okay. Let's double up on the f-file then, huh? It's a dark squared bishop, so let's make sure that stays defended and the rook doesn't get in the way of a bishop move. Like, for example, if I put the rook here, he could bring this bishop out here eventually and then skewer me like this. It would be annoying. Not necessarily fatal, just annoying. Okay, I want to stop his knight from hopping in here. Yeah, I already had the bishop covering that square, I guess. But that would have forced a trade when I didn't necessarily want to trade. Anyway, I'm going to double the rooks. Then maybe push e5. I don't know. Don't know if that'll work. Yeah, for a while there he had, for a move, he had an interesting skewer there on my knight because the rook in the corner was loose once I lifted this rook. I don't know if there was a way for him to take advantage of it, but it was an interesting thing. Ah, so he wants to move his knight aside. Interesting. So I can play this now. If he takes, I take back with the knight. That's really what I want. He doesn't take, he doesn't push, he moves his queen. Interesting. Okay, so his bishop is locked in behind the pawns. I guess I'm going to bring my knight around. My bishop, I'm having trouble finding a good spot for it, but maybe here. Attacking this pawn. Bring the knight here, put the bishop here. I'll have two pieces on it. Kick the queen. Something like that. Yeah, that stops me from putting the bishop here. Or at least he could trade it off if I put the bishop there. Oh, now I can. Okay, let's kick the queen first, though. Yeah, so now this threatens the pawn. Yeah, I thought he was building up to a sacrifice. That's interesting. Okay, let's see if I calculated this right. So I take, he takes back with the queen, and then he's going to follow up with a knight coming here, but I've got a bishop that goes here to harass the queen, and two rooks. Yeah, it's hard to believe this sacrifice is any good. Yeah, let's chase that queen a little bit. Don't want it getting comfortable. Okay, so the knight here is the threat, right? I could move the knight in a way that defends the queen. Yeah. There, I guess. Okay, I just won on time. I am winning here, I think. Let's go to the analysis board and ask the computer what it would play in. Yeah, it's -6. There's some kind of dumb moves there, I think. Let's see. Suppose he just stays here to annoy me. Yeah. And then with the knight here, I can bring my rook up here. I hadn't spotted that. That's a nice idea. So the queen doesn't have anywhere to go now. This whole file is taken. So maybe my moves weren't so bad. I was gradually developing a defense around my king. So the queen, really the only good move is for the queen to retreat, and then he's got nothing. And I have an extra piece, so it's all good. Okay, let's see. A new opponent. 11:40. We've got 20 minutes left, maybe one or two more games. I haven't played the French today. Let's do that. The exchange. Okay, this is all standard. Usually they develop the knight. I'm going to defend the pawn, keep the knight out of this square. Usually they develop the bishop. The usual move is this bishop to here instead of the knight. Okay, he's playing like a London system. I'm going to castle. And let's see, do I care if there's a sacrifice here? I don't think it matters at this point because of the weird position of the knight. Okay, now the issue is if I develop the knight, the bishop becomes undefended. Can he exploit that? Knight here, he moves the knight quickly. Yeah, to attack my queen, say by taking the pawn, I take back and then he can take the bishop. Okay, so you move then the bishop back where it's defended, so you can't do anything like that. And you can play this knight out here. So he doesn't care if I take it. He'll probably take back with a pawn and try and force me to move this guy. But my idea is somewhat different. Let's just get the knight out of the way for now, and the bishop could actually go here. No, I can't. Can't go there because the knight is on it. Yeah, this knight is kind of annoying, I will admit. Okay, now this pawn is pinned. Let's defend there and hit this pawn. I mean this bishop. Defend this pawn, hit this bishop. So if he plays, for example, bishop here trying to take advantage of the pin, this guy is already defended. And if he does nothing, I will take the bishop. Make my life a little bit easier to not have a dark squared bishop to worry about. This pawn is loose too. That's an interesting point because that's the pawn is what's supporting this this knight in the advanced position. Yeah, he's just giving it up. And that knight is pinned there. If he moves, I could take the queen. If he does that, what can I do? Well, why don't I just do this? Then there's no threat of mate that I have to worry about. The knight could maybe go back to this square, trying to fork these two guys, though it'd probably get traded. And I still have threats on this guy. Okay, so now what's the best thing? Take first. What if I take here? He takes back with a rook. I take. He takes back with a queen, and then he's got pieces on this guy. So yeah, let's go here first. See if he wants to trade or move the queen. Trade it is. So I think I'll step up with the king and play h6 to chase this bishop away, break this pin, which is a little uncomfortable, I admit. So 3 minutes left. That's good. I take, he takes, I take. Yeah, he can't do that. I mean, he wasn't even threatening the knight because it was defended. He can play that. He could have thrown in the exchange here, I guess. Let's unpin the knight. Simplest thing. Yeah, he might have been able to play something different. When I did this, he might have taken here. And if I take back, then he can take the knight. I'm not sure how that would have worked out. Maybe look at that after the game. Okay, he wants to chase my bishop back, but my knight is free now, so the bishop doesn't even have to move. And now I can play h6 supported by the knight. Oh, okay, he can play that. It's true. Oh, I can take the queen. Of course, he can't play that. He can't play that. Let's go to the analysis board. I was curious about this position. I played this move kind of quickly, and I was wondering if maybe he had a tactic involving rook takes, but he doesn't. If he plays rook takes, what do? I just take it, let him check me, and he doesn't have any good follow-up. Or I could have, even instead of moving the king, take here. Yeah, it's even better. Yep. Yeah, I'm just winning here. So I didn't give it away. I was surprised by a few things, but I didn't give it away. So good game. Let's get another one. It's still time. Okay, well, I'll be bold and play e5 here. 4e5. Ah, it's the Scotch Gambit. Yeah, let's see if I survive it. I play kind of an unambitious line as black when I am faced with this Scotch Gambit because I don't like to get into trouble. Very easy to get into trouble here. So now I can take and then bring the bishop out. That's what I wanted to do. So this will give me an open F file. See, if I go here, the knight takes, I take. He takes, I take. Yeah, I don't think this was the most exciting way to play it. I guess I'll take it this way, though. I could... No, I won't. I'll do this. I was thinking of taking with the bishop and having an isolated e-pawn, an isolated king's pawn, was supported by this knight. Might have been okay. Might have been okay. C5, was C5 an option? Yeah, maybe. Chase the queen away from that square instead of the knight move. Because I could chase the queen away and then I could move the knight more freely. Yeah, that might have been a good move. Okay, the queen went there. So we're just moving the pawns like so. Yeah, he can hop his knight in there, sadly. But can't really stay there, I don't think. We'll see. Oh, that was good. He's going to win the bishop. Where is he? Yeah, so it just turned into a lot of nothing. Yeah, I was scared for a moment because in this position here, when he checked me, he's got two pieces. You know, it was gaining a second attacker with tempo. You know, so he's got two pieces on this, which is only defended once. But there was this move that saved me. It blocked the check and defended the bishop, and there's no longer a pin. So at first it appears useless, but as you look deeper, you see it's really worthwhile. So I could let him take the knight. I mean, that's kind of a pin that does nothing. The knight is perfectly well defended, and I don't have to worry about a messed up kingside. Yeah, so I can. I think I will. I think I will play this way. I was going to say I could just defend it. That was my original plan. But I realized he could move his c-pawn. That's a little bit annoying. Okay, so let's go here, and then I'll be able to double the rooks. And also support it with the knight. Yeah, so he decided to take. Okay, so these are all well supported then. Don't have to do a thing. Let's start marching the king forward. Yeah, I was gonna wanted to see which way he was going with that pawn first. Okay, so now I've got a passed pawn here. Yeah, I do have to be careful, huh? I go here, he could bring the rook over. But is it really worthwhile having a rook there? Is that really valuable? Yeah, so let's go here. I guess he can check and take this pawn. Yeah, he's going to do that. But I'm going to take this one. This might not be a win. Might not. But I decide to back up and defend. But I think it's kind of difficult for white. I'm going to bring the rook over. I want to oppose rooks. Okay, so now I have a passed pawn and he doesn't, but these pawns are very good here. I'm going to play a5 to open up this square for my king. Yeah, I still want to get my king to this square. I can use the rook to hold this pawn back. Really? Move the rook to where he can't... take it in one move, huh? Yeah, looks like we are going for... Yeah, I probably had a check. Yeah, I probably had a check like that earlier. I was thinking he could move his king forward to where it attacks me. But he can't. If we go to the analysis board, if he goes here, my king is covering it, the rook is here, and then the pawn is here. So he can't attack my rook. He has to... we give this... erase some of the paint there. Yeah, he has to run back. Then I can take a rook, and then this one is stopped by my rook. So I probably had that sooner. Yeah, so it's even here. It's even here. Maybe even a little better for white. But this move is a mistake. That was correct. Then he has to run with the rook. When he played this, then I'm winning because I have the check already here. So I can check at a time when he can't... Yeah, he still has no squares he can run to. Yep. Little dangerous like that. Always beware of those forks. Okay, well, it is noon here. Thanks, everybody, for watching. I'm going to wind up the stream now. Appreciate all the likes and follows. Just remember to follow me to get notifications for when I stream. I have no regular schedule, although I am hoping to start streaming more often. I've been buried recently in work, but but hopefully it's clearing up, and I will see you again soon. Bye now.